Hey guys, what's up? My name is Dubs. This is,
Ray, aka PR Sneaks.
and we are Cream, which stands for.
Kicks rules everything around me.
Thank you guys for coming to the box. This is our little lair, as you would say. This is our inaugural show. We're trying to integrate the culture, the vibe, the mystique, and how Kicks rules our daily lives.
Which it really does.
Does, right?
So let's get started.
Let's do it. Let's give like a 2-second heads down about for Kobe. You know, let's just give like 2 seconds down because we don't have that much time. So, or we can just do 24 seconds.
Well, 2 seconds is good because
Gigi.
again, Gigi.
Right.
You know, so obviously we're also honoring, her as well. And that's it's a huge loss. I know there was several lives lost, and we're focusing on Kobe, and we focus on on Gigi as well, because obviously they were the big names, right? So you could say, so I mean, it's a huge loss, and we know that from a cultural standpoint, it impacted us, right? It impacted a lot of individuals. How did you feel about it when you first heard the news?
Well, actually, a lot of friends were texting me, asking if it was real. No lie, a lot of celebrities were actually texting me also, asking me if it was for real, and I said I don't think so. Looking online, I'm trying to get online, and just everything was just being cut because I guess everybody was Googling it. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad because he was a very impactful person, player, and just what he did for a generation was just unbelievable.
Right. I feel like the impact of Kobe's death was the reason why it was so impactful because it impacted the individuals differently.
Absolutely.
So obviously it impacted individuals, the athletes, right, that looked up to him, the individuals that respected him. They may have liked him, but they respected him, right, as much. It impacted. Obviously, he was huge in women's sports, and what he started to do already was a huge impact. So it impacted those individuals. He's obviously an icon from an NBA. But the Mamba mentality, I think that resonates with a lot of individuals, outside of just sports. And I think that as well. I had a long conversation the morning after with the individuals at work, and I explained why that was so huge. And for me, I come from the Jordan time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
both of us.
that was the era. But Kobe, the essence of his Mamba mentality, and how he had that always drove. I was driven by that. It was the same mentality that Jordan had, but he didn't have a name for it, right? So he kind of took that and made it his own. And that mentality in itself, for individuals that follow that through and they use that in their daily lives, work, sports, home, that's a high impact because again, a lot of individuals looked up for Kobe, not just for Kobe as a basketball player, but just kind of what he brought to the culture, and he brought to the sport, and he brought to the Kicks as well.
Absolutely. As you saw, right after his death, shoes started to skyrocket.
Oh, yes.
So, the resellers were trying to compound on that.
Right.
So, as we know, everything was pulled from all the shelves and all that.
Right.
But, we'll leave, we'll have Kobe rest in peace for now.
Right.
We'll keep talking about him on more shows. But let's get into some stuff that happened in the past week. The All-Star Game, how'd you like it?
The All-Star Game is one of those things, for me personally, that I enjoy.
Right.
I guess I just enjoy more the NBA does a great job of making the All-Star festivities, the weekend, a big deal.
Right.
It's there's parties, it's a big show. It's the best I think of out of all the major sports. In saying that, the game itself, I know they changed it up a little bit, and the fourth quarter was a lot more competitive than the norm. But still, I still can't buy into the game 100%. I think I'm more active with the celebrity game and All-Star Saturday Night than the game itself. For me personally.
How'd you like the jerseys? That was a nice touch.
Yeah, and the jerseys were pretty cool as well. It's funny because as the game was going on, I made a comment that again personally I like when they let the NBA players wear their own jersey.
Right.
When Jordan was wearing his Jordan jersey.
Yeah, I actually like that also. No, but they did. they did, in recognition of Kobe's death. So everybody either had 24,
Yeah,
or they had two.
Yeah, I like what they did. I mean, when it relates to the honoring Kobe and Gigi, I like that the NBA did that. I love that the NBA changed the award, right, the MVP award,
Absolutely right.
to the Kobe Bryant
Adam Silver
award.
did it,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, so
On
the
Thursday
fact
night.
that Adam made that change, and that's kind of rather quick. You got to act on your feet. I know there's been a big calling to change the logo, and that's been a little bit controversial.
Right.
But the fact, let's stick it to the All-Star.
Because Jerry West is so iconic, so it's like kind of crazy that.
But I think Jerry West, obviously he's been impacted by Kobe's death. He's the one.
Absolutely.
So I am pretty sure that if they ask Jerry, and again this is my opinion, I don't think it'll be a big deal. Like for Jerry in the aspect that he's had it for so long, and at some point there's change all the time, right? I'm pretty sure that that's something that they don't have to twist his arm so much to do that, and that's just my opinion. But again, there's still the naysayers. They don't want change. Whenever there's change, that's the classic. It's been there for a long time. That NBA logo. Even myself, to be honest with you, I'm for the idea.
Kind of outdated.
Yeah, it's kind of outdated.
Okay.
I'm for the idea to do that at some point. I know. But again, going back, it's a controversial subject. You could talk about it and have different opinions.
Yeah, you could probably say why is Michael Jordan not it? Or,
Exactly right.
Right.
Well, one of the comments that I heard was, well, then anytime that there is a tragedy or something that happens,
They were changing to that
we're
player.
going to change to that player. We can't do
Right.
that. But again, the flip side to that is, when was there ever a tragedy in
That was so
sport
and so impactful.
that was so impactful?
World renowned.
We haven't
Right.
seen that.
Right.
I think, and everyone talks. I know that there's been tragedies, and Princess Diana back in the '80s, right? That was a huge impact, right?
90s.
And that was the '90s.
90s, yeah.
And there was another, huge, impactful death. I think what we're talking about, but I don't recall. But regardless, that still that change will be very difficult,
Right.
to make. So it's the fact that, again, going back to the All-Star, that Adam Silver made the change to for the MVP to the Kobe Bryant. Fantastic.
Definitely thumbs up.
Great job.
Slam dunk competition. That was something else.
Yeah, that was something else. I mean, this All-Star Saturday night was awesome.
From start to end. I agree.
Like I said, the
skills
skills competition
challenge,
was fantastic. The fact that a lot of the big men were showcased in that, and they were impactful in a skills challenge where you have to have speed, agility, and be able to pass the ball. The big men could do that nowadays. That was fantastic.
But how about having almost all three Heat players sweeping the floor? How about that?
Right, and again, and Dub says that because obviously our hometown here is Miami,
305, baby.
305. So obviously we were going for the Heat players, and we were really proud that we had, like I said, a huge representation in All-Star Saturday night. But Duncan Robinson didn't come through for us in the three-point contest.
Right.
But let's go to the slam dunk, which you stated.
Let's go straight to that.
Fantastic. It was one of the all-time best, I think, slam dunk contests.
Since probably Jordan.
Since probably Jordan,
Right.
in those days. In 1988 was the last one, Jordan and
Right.
Dominique, right?
Right.
And again,
And it was controversial again.
it was controversial again. And it was back in Chicago.
So
back in 1988.
right. So let's get your view on here. Are you feeling that Derrick Jones Jr. actually won, or do you feel that Aaron Gordon lost?
And again, this answer could say, well, you're a homer, right? Because I'm from Miami. No, I mean, my answer is Derrick Jones Jr. absolutely took home the prize.
Okay.
And, he was very graceful with his dunks. He didn't miss any dunks. Aaron was missing dunks towards the end in the last rounds. The point that Kenny Smith was making, which was understood, was that Aaron had 4 straight 50s, which is unheard of. Right?
Okay, right, but that's getting to the finals.
You get into the finals.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's null and void.
It's not exactly.
It doesn't matter
Right.
anymore because at the end you're in the finals. Now it counts from here on. And yeah, like I said, my opinion was, Aaron just kept jumping over, heads, and grabbing the ball. And yes, he has a great vertical leap. When he first did it, the first time Aaron was with the Orlando Magic, or he jumped over the mascot.
Right,
Remember that?
correct.
And even
Actually,
this,
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was sideways.
Yeah, sideways.
Right.
Yeah, his legs up. It was
Right.
beautiful. It was, like I said, in slow motion, it looked fantastic. And even at the beginning of the contest on Saturday, fantastic as well. But towards the end, it kept being the same thing. It was repetitive, and
Right.
Derrick was doing completely something else.
But let me ask you a question. Don't you think that forget about the judges? they got to do something about judging in particular, anyways, because they're just throwing up 10s and 50s all day long. So how do you combat that? Like, it just doesn't even make sense.
I mean, I guess, my opinion, they have the, and I'm gonna apologize, I don't remember the name, but the individual, the actor that played in the Black Panther.
Chadwick Boseman.
Okay. I don't know what he knows about basketball, but it seemed like he seemed somewhat confused, right?
Well, he also seemed like he didn't really want to be there anyways.
Right.
But that's another story.
So if you're gonna really have the all-star, like I said, judging, you want to probably have individuals who are really vested in it. Back in the day, you always had Dr. J, right? And you had almost the same individuals kind of judging. Maybe you flip-flopped here and there.
Sure.
But I think we should have a consistent basis of individuals who want to judge. They're the experts in the slam dunk. You know what I mean?
Right, but even so, like, how are you going to judge? Because let's say you're getting up to the last, couple of dunks. I mean, both sides were 50s,
right.
in my opinion. But not everything is a 50.
Right.
So then how do you, judge that? There's got to be 8s, 8.5s, 9s. There's nothing there. It's either 9s, 10s.
So why do they do this? They did this, and I'm pretty sure in one of these American Idol shows or something. That means that I watched this. I don't know, right? It doesn't mean but I know they did something like this where they left it to the fans. So why couldn't they be something where the fans, have their phones out and they text whatever the case would be? They get it in a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? You could have a poll that gets all this information and spits it out, within a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden the fans had the vote.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that. I mean, you go by percentage points. Whoever won by whatever percentage points is the winner at the end.
I like that idea. That's pretty cool. So let's stay on that topic. Derek Jones, I don't know if you heard, he was signed by Puma.
Yeah, Derek.
And this was right after he won the dunk competition. So what do you think about that? Was that a byproduct because he won, or was it a byproduct because he was that good? What if he didn't win? Would he still get signed, you think? Because he was signed with Kendrick Nunn, right?
Kendrick Nunn from the Miami Heat, again, Miami. So two Miami Heat players this week were signed by Puma. So to your question, Dubs, was that a byproduct outside of the Kendrick Nunn signing with Derek Jones? Because Kendrick Nunn right now is a fantastic rookie, right? He's won Rookie of the Month in the Eastern Conference 4 straight months.
Right.
I mean, that's unheard of. And right now, he's not even talked about being Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely
right?
Right.
But again,
they're looking at I think John Morant, if I'm mistaken, and then Zion is just coming on like a beast.
And well deserved.
Sure.
Two fantastic, but Kendrick Nunn again is not one to be reckoned with. At the end of the day, he's still having a great year.
Sure.
And that's fantastic. But from a dunk standpoint, Derek Jones is not necessarily having the season that Kendrick Nunn is having or the others. However, he is coming into his own, and he got a deal with a sneaker deal right after him winning the slam dunk contest. So I do think it's a big time byproduct of winning the slam dunk contest. But I think Puma's pretty smart, and Puma has come up a lot in Puma basketball. For I think it's called Puma Hoops, Puma basketball.
Right.
For the past 24 months, they really have changed their ways of looking at the basketball strategy that they have. Before it was really just kind of like within the running style. They had a lot of cross country shoes.
Right.
Those so they've had a lot of different types of shoes, runners in essence. But now the basketball area is coming up right now.
Doesn't Jay-Z have something to do with that?
Yeah, Jay-Z has a big piece to do with it. Jay-Z came on board at that same time, and they started signing a lot of NBA players about a couple of years ago. So now what they do is they try to grab NBA players, these up-and-coming NBA players, and sign them and see what Derek Jones could end up being one of these like I said, great finds. He's having a year that he's coming up big time. He's starting for the Miami Heat in some games.
Right.
A couple of years ago you didn't even hear of Derek Jones.
Right.
So I do think it's a byproduct of him winning the slam dunk contest, and I think there's a lot more to come from Derek Jones Jr.
Absolutely. We got to do a huge shout out for the GOAT.
Yes, definitely.
MJ, yo, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday,
Happy
MJ.
birthday.
Happy what? 50 what?
I think it's 52, 53, something like
No,
that.
I think it's like 57.
Is it 57 now?
Yeah, so I remember when this big 50 came about, but I think it's 57 years old by
Is
the
it 57?
by the
I might be off. Whatever, it's okay. Whatever. Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday, MJ. As you see,
Oh, you know what?
Phoenix rules everything around me, so that's part of it as well.
Yeah, you know what? Since we're doing that, why don't we showcase what's going on here with these Sixes?
Right. Okay, it's great. So, this is our inaugural show, and every week you're going to see a shoe, sitting here kind of, randomly, and we'll want you guys to think, why is it there, right? So, right now, so we'll showcase it. So, We are in we're February what 23rd today?
23rd.
23rd, and we're gonna have a segment every week. It's gonna be called. Somebody called it.
Whatever.
So the segment that we're gonna have is I forgot the name of it. What's the name we're gonna use?
We're having technical difficulties, folks. Sorry about that.
Oh, the week in review.
Week in review.
The week in review. So we're gonna have.
Dun dun dun.
Right. We're gonna have this
week in history. There we go. This week in history.
So this week in history. So the reason why we have this shoe here, which is a social status pony hair Air Jordan 6, is because last year during this time in February 22nd, whatever the case may be. Social status
right.
released this all-star shoe, right? It's the pony hair, like I said, my Air Jordan 6, and I think it's a beautiful shoe.
Looks like an all-star shoe too.
It's an all-star shoe. It's a beautiful shoe. Prior to release, this shoe actually was reselling for $600-700 on StockX.
Right.
Go.
Right. And then all of a sudden, once it released, it just dropped significantly.
Yeah, that's key. It's one of the funny things. I think it's a beautiful shoe. However, it's tanked. I mean, from a reseller standpoint, the way we say here in the culture, it's just tanked. Right now, you could probably get it at $70 to $80 under retail. So probably around $140, $150. I think it's a $225 shoe.
$225, right?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So we wanted to showcase this shoe.
Can I tell you something? I like the aesthetics. I think the pony hair is something different. The last time I saw pony hair was on the Scottie Pippins that Ron Feig redid, which I thought was the kids version, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of liking. Do you like this on the midsole and the front sole of the shoe?
Yeah, this kind of like
it's like an alligator skin or something.
Alligator skin, I think it's very soft.
Yeah.
So it's very, very soft.
It's very supple. Yeah. It's actually very well made.
I know there was some feedback on this as well that individuals didn't like this as much. They wanted to see all pony hair, but I think that again it breaks it up a little bit.
I do. I agree.
So you have something in the upper. Like say you have the pony hair. In the middle you have like the alligator skin. I assume it's what it is. Very soft. Very, very soft and subtle. I think the color blocking is awesome. I have purple, black, but we wanted to showcase the shoe because again, 1 year ago to this week, this shoe release. So look for more to come in our shows coming up. We're going to have the week in this
week in history.
This week in history, and we'll showcase the shoe. It may be from last year, it may be from 3 years ago, it may be from 5 years ago. But we'll showcase. So we'll talk a little bit about it and go from there.
Right. Hope you guys like that.
Hey, you know what? It has leather inside as well.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Fantastic.
Nice. All right. There we go. Why don't we move towards golf? I know you're not so keen on golf.
Hey, who said that?
My bad.
Who said that?
I saw your swing not too long ago.
Oh, he was looking at my top golf swing. See, the top golf swing and the swing in the real greens is a little bit different.
Oh,
I remember
my
that.
bad. So I just want to let you know. Do you know that there are some guys that are endorsed by Jordan Brand?
Yeah,
on the PGA Tour.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know of. I've heard of like one or two. Who's this guy?
So there's about 4 guys. I myself used to be an avid golfer. Played in high school, played in college. But the fact of the matter is that I didn't know myself that Keegan Bradley, who won the PGA Championship in 2011,
right,
was actually the first Jordan Brand ambassador.
Right, and I seen him wear Jordan stuff.
Right. But very odd, different type of things that are like, I guess, majestically made for him.
So it's exclusive for him, right?
Exclusive for him, I think.
So P's,
yeah, there would be player editions, yeah.
Okay.
But now, as you keep on seeing, like Pat Perez is a huge Jordan fanatic.
Right.
Luke Donald also is on there, but recently, Harold Varner III, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Because there aren't that many black male athletes on the PGA Tour.
Right.
You can only really think of 2 or 3.
Right.
Tiger being one of them.
Right, of course.
Tiger has his own brand.
Right.
That's another issue, but Harold Varner III is up and coming. He's trying to, break out. What do you think about Jordan Brand making a move in golf?
I mean, I think it's definitely fantastic, and I think more so because the fact that Jordan Brand's expanding out, and we've seen it, right? We've seen the releases on Nike randomly of a Jordan 11 golf shoe, a Jordan 3, I think, golf shoe 4,
right.
And I know now they showcase the Fire Red 5s.
Right.
As well, right?
Right. Yep. They're coming out, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So, I gotta drink water.
You want some water? Hold on.
Give
Give us a second, guys. Sorry about that. Our production manager's helping out.
So yeah, so
There you go, buddy. All right.
the Jordan 5 Fire Red is coming out in the golf shoe. So I like what Jordan's doing because they're integrating the classics, Jordan silhouettes into a golf shoe as well, and they're promoting it because, like, as you can see, not only are these players, like you said, 4 or 5 out of it,
4 right now.
4 of these players are also signed to with Jordan brand, but also there's several up and coming players, you know, like, and they're integrated in the culture as well.
Right, absolutely.
So the fact that they could, put on a Jordan shoe and go onto the golf course and shine, you know, they'll have swagger with the Jordans, and obviously we all know we look good, we play good, right?
Absolutely.
You know, it's not only for basketball, you know, or baseball or football, you know, golf as well, you know. So the fact that they're moving into the golf space, I think is fantastic. They did it with motorsports, they did it with biking, with Nigel Sylvester. So why not with golfing, right?
Right. Or like Nate Burleson would say in football when he does the touchdown catches. I guess we could use it in golf too.
Absolutely.
Toe, drag, swag.
There you go. Listen, it's all about swag.
That's
Kicks rules everything around us.
Let's stick to the 5s. We had a big release this week on the Off-White 5s.
Right.
How do you like that silhouette?
I mean, I personally, 5s is probably my second favorite silhouette.
Wow.
So 1
Obviously.
being my favorite,
Obviously.
and actually 5's my second favorite. So I love the silhouette. I love what Virgil did with the 5. He went. He has a big story he's telling with the 5.
Right.
He's an avid, obviously, Jordan. Like I said, a lover, follower. He grew up with Jordan. Had been from Chicago, been from that era. And with that silhouette, it's a classic metallic 5, right? Reinvented by Virgil, right? You know, adding the 23 on the side, has the Nike Air in the back. Even with the white laces that you put on there, Jordan wear the metallic 5s with the white laces, like that, you know.
Are you feeling what people are doing with the X-Acto knives? They're cutting out.
I'm feeling it. I wouldn't do it, but I'm feeling what Virgil's trying to do, because Virgil's big thing is that the off-whites are meant for you to make them your own.
Right.
Right. He's even told when the MCAs came out, he says you can make your own MCA. Just get a blue Air Force One and just make it your own.
Right.
You know, and that's great because he's, you know, you could take there's individuals that take a black marker and just start writing on the, you know, the
Sure.
side and the midsole. So he's good that he's for that. He wants you to make your own. So remember, he kind of showcased that that's what he did, you know, and I think he did that so people could also lead the way and change it up. You know, part of that is to wear a different sock color.
Sure.
And showcase the sock and be different, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm a big fan for individuals doing it. Now, would I personally do it? No, I wouldn't touch my shoe like that. But the fact that people are doing that, I think is fantastic. And now, do I like the way that you like the way that the shoe released and the format it released in Chicago?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Right.
Not such a fan of that. Also, don't forget when sneakers on the app releases. It's also almost not fair to certain different hubs in the country.
Yeah, but do you understand why they did that? It's the thing, because you got to understand they did it because of Chicago.
Right, of course, obviously.
Virgil, you know?
Obviously.
So, you know, are you saying that really because you're salty that you didn't get a chance to buy it, or are you saying that really because you feel like it should be a broad release regardless?
It's a little bit of both.
You're being honest.
Yeah, being honest. It's a little bit of both. It's kind of very, hurting also. Forget about that, but it's just like when New York gets everything or Chicago gets everything, and
We're always saying
Miami's always left out.
well, but outside, let's say outside Miami, we're a pretty big city, and we get some things, right?
Right.
But what about the North Carolinas, you know, South Carolina,
That's true.
the other? They don't get anything. And every week there's a release, and there's a new release coming out. You know, Sneakers app put something out there, and what do you have? Chicago, New York,
LA,
and now Atlanta
maybe
has
Boston.
a little bit. You know, now Atlanta has a little bit of it. But you know, we get salty. We don't get a chance to get that.
Right.
That. But at the end of the day, that's the nature of the beast. We have to fight for it. We got to go out there and look for it. And you know, we have resellers that again, if we have to buy from them, that's what we got to do. We got to buy from them, or you got to get just, you know, you got to understand what you need to do around your community in order for you get the stores in your community to help you out.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Let's move on to some of my old school kicks that actually brought me into the culture. The SBs.
All right.
We had a nice, mean release. yesterday.
Yeah, it was yeah.
It was really, 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 really bad.
Well, bad in what sense? Bad in the fact that you didn't cop it, or bad
Yeah.
in the sense that the way that the release went about?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you both.
Oh, both again.
Both again.
You know, and I talk about this because like we're all salty, right? We all have some salt at some point thrown on us because we want to shoot and we don't end up copping it for
Right.
whatever reason. This one was like that for various reasons. It was a special box limited edition.
Bandana
obviously.
logo.
Bandana logo. Travis Scott SB release, right. It's going to be released, you know, I guess officially on the 29th.
On the 29th, which is actually a leap year.
Oh, there you go.
Which happens once every 4 years.
Exactly. So
that's kind of cool.
So the next 29th release will be 4 years from now.
Right.
But going to the release that happened yesterday, you know, it was. I feel like the way they did it was awesome. You know, it looks like the website went live or was starting to go live on the birthday of his daughter, right?
At 6:37.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the birth timing, right?
Birth time. 6:37.
That's interesting. The way that's cool. That ties in a piece. And then obviously, in order to fight bots, right, our friendly neighborhood bots, and you know that we're always fighting against, you know,
Autobots disengage.
Right, and that's what they're trying to do. Every, you know, Supreme and Kith and all these websites always try to fight bots, right? And I think in order to do that, they made it a raffle, you know. And I really didn't see a lot of people win it. I know they did. Some individuals did. Why don't you have a buddy?
Yeah, I got one guy that won.
Yeah, but very few. You didn't see it out there. So you know they must have done something to block out, IP addresses and stuff for multiple. You know.
Well, they were saying that they were going to do that with multiples.
Well, so then that's great. So then again, to me, I am not upset at the fact that the way they went about it. I am pissed that I didn't get to shoot.
Absolutely.
But we'll have another shot on the 29th, you know.
On the 29th, hopefully, with your local SB locations.
But what do you think of it, you know, before we move on? Because I know that shoes, it's the new popular thing now is like to cut it up and...
Love it. It reminds me of a Sean Witherspoon, which is one of my favorite shoes, the Air Max 197s.
Right.
I know you love them yourself.
Yeah.
They're actually showcasing a little bit right here.
Yeah, there's a little version of them right here. Shout out to Band Goods. You know, I'm at the crib. We're in the box, so I decided, you know what, let me just go comfortable today. So I'm just here, cozy, you know, chilling in my Band Goods. But so why do you like the nod to this? What is it about it?
So this was like the first iteration for me, and for me, just the rip away that there's something underneath.
Right.
It's just something mystical. It's like when we were a kid, like you know, how many puppies are there inside? 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't even know what's going on. I think yeah, you're making it
with the Jordan 1, right? The skateboard Jordan 1, right? The North Carolina one.
Right.
It ripped away from a khaki to a North Carolina.
Right. I remember that. That was pretty cool. Oh,
I've done it with some Blazers recently.
No, and they also did it with ones but the scratch away with the Jordan 1.
Oh, that's different. Those are the paints. But this is more of the actual material.
Right.
Well, here, I'm a fan of the paint. I hate the cutting and all that kind of stuff. I don't like it personally.
You don't like it?
I'm gonna leave it just the way it is if I get it, and leave it. But you know, for individuals like yourself,
what about the Paranoids? Remember the Paranoids that just came out?
Yeah.
The Air Forces, I believe that they were.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were just like, it was like black tape that was on top, and they were ripping. I think that's cool.
Was that a paint?
It was like a black masking tape. That you could like, if you heat it up, you could like rip it off, and there's like a colorful.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I just don't like the rip effect. You know, that whole ripped effect. I didn't like that.
Okay.
You know, I mean, personally, you know, in my eyes, I didn't like the way it looks. It looks messy.
All right, I hear you. Anyways, with that being said, I just want to say we hope that you loved our show.
Absolutely.
We want you to subscribe down below. Give us a thumbs up if you guys like it, because we know you're gonna love it.
Yeah, so make sure to do that. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, just like Dub stated.
And we're definitely gonna see you next week, same time, same place,
same
box.
All right, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Peace. Yo, great job, man.
I think that was pretty good.